You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. In this installment, Marci makes her way into the worst cat hoarding situation she has ever seen. And the spousal unit and I are back in the rolling homeless shelter that passes for public transit in Chicago. How are the 48 cats?
Oh, dude. It was 48 cages with 106 cats.
No.
It was a house of horrors. It was the worst thing I have ever been in my entire life. It was grisly. Actually, it was 45 cages, 106 cats, and they were crammed into these cages piled up on top of each other.
Oh, my God.
In a trailer that was sealed shut.
What?
She had nailed all the windows shut. We opened the door and just about passed out. It was so bad. And this lady lived in there. She slept in a chair. There was no furniture, just cages and cages of cats. We just started hauling them out of there. And finally, because there was a lot of publicity by then, because I was just slapping it all over Facebook saying, we need help, we need help, we need help. All of a sudden, the Humane Society of Sedona said, oh, we didn't know about this.
Oh, boy.
We'll help you. What they did was they set up cooling rooms. We just needed them to all be, cooled down. All of the cats were scanned. Some of them were stolen. One has been missing since 2017.
Will they survive?
Yeah. They're all going to survive. And I've never seen anything like this. It didn't hit me till I got home. And then I cried. It was so awful. And I really wanted to hurt this person. And we since found out that the county sheriff has been there several times, knew what was going on, but said because they had shelter and food, he couldn't do anything.
That's a lie.
There are animal cruelty laws.
The animal control guy ought to have his hat handed to him, too. You said he's been trying to work with her.
Yeah. What kind of work? People have been donating. I asked people for cat trees. And these cats, for the first time, are like getting on cat trees and being outside and running and playing. It's just incredible. It's just like, I don't know. I will never complain about the smell of anything again. And of course,
yes, you will. Yes, you will. Tomorrow, well, maybe.
But they're all safe now. I'm exhausted. The best part of this that you'll be able to relate to and love is that Sunday morning, after I did this all day, we got up at 4 a.m. and went and helped with the Mountain Man Triathlon.
What? I'll be able to relate to this when I'm dead.
Because you love sports
so much,
and because you love getting up early
so much.
So yeah, it was like this huge triathlon in Flagstaff, where they had to swim like Mary, they had to ride bikes and run.
You should have given every entrant a free cat.
I know. Every winner got a medal
and a cat.
And Frankie and I.
No.
No, these cats all have to be spayed, neutered, vaccinated.
What about the stolen ones?
No,
the stolen ones?
The stolen ones are going to go back to their owners.
Good.
Yes.
Unbelievable. What did she do with all these cats?
She called herself mommy.
This is like a Hitchcock movie.
It's worse than that. It's a movie I would not go see. But yes, she was their mommy, and she thought that she was doing a wonderful thing for them. I don't understand it. I kept wanting to punch her. She was like probably a good 10 years older than me, and she dyed her hair brown, which I already have issues with all by itself. It was just wrong.
I didn't know there was a cutoff date to when you had to stop dyeing your hair, according to Marci. I'll have to make a note of that.
Okay, here's my cop story, okay?
Okay.
So Thursday night, after this was our first entrance into this awful place, and we were still stunned, and we had pulled out 21 of the worst cases and crammed them into the back seat of Clifford. And I sure that it's been years since any of them have been in a moving vehicle.
Oh, man.
So they were all puking, and the truck just smelled bad. But after being in that trailer, we really didn't notice how bad it was.
Uh-huh.
But we're driving on these really dark country roads where there's no lighting. And all of a sudden, lights come up behind me, and I'm pulled over by a freaking cop.
You're kidding.
No, it was a Coconino County sheriff. And I know that he thought that there were a couple good old boys with open beers, in Clifford going down the highway
Yeah.
at 12:30 in the morning.
Well,
So,
didn't you teach him a little lesson about life?
so I open the door, and here's Sue and I, and just cats, 21 cats. And the cats were, it smelled bad. They were all getting sick in the truck. And he did a double take when he saw me driving. And I said, I wasn't speeding. Why did you stop me? And he said, the light over your back license plate
Oh,
is
for
burned out.
goodness sakes.
And he said, and I saw you swerve. And I said, well, I was drinking water because it's 101 degrees. I said, we're the Cat Sanctuary from up in Parks. And we just found 106 cats in a very bad situation. 21 of them are throwing up and pooping
In the back of this truck.
right now. Yes. And he goes, oh, I'm allergic to cats. And I said, I guess you better step back then. And he said, do you own this truck? And I said, yes. And he said, can I see your license and registration? Then he thought about it for a minute. And he said, never mind.
He probably figured if he touched anything for the truck, he would swell up like a puffer fish.
I don't know.
That's one way of making sure that you don't get the ticket. When the pretty lady discount doesn't work anymore, try the allergic to cats sheriff.
Yep.
Well, our problems this week have all been with people, and I actually could have used a sheriff, and I would have even taken one from Coconino County.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, we had to ride the red line. And once again, the
guy was there.
No, this was a brand new homeless weirdo. Only this guy was a little bit dangerous, and with a whole train to choose from. He wandered up the train, he wandered down the train, yelling, "And now a word from your homeless person."
Oh,
and all kinds of other words I can't say on the podcast. And of course, where does he wish to sit down? Because it's not
right next to you.
Right across from the spousal unit and me. That's right. And he takes his shoes off. If you want to know what might smell worse than a hoarding 102-degree trailer with 140 cats, it's a homeless guy taking his shoes off. That's not fun.
I watch a lot of medical TV.
Yeah? What
Yeah,
have you got,
and there's
smell-o-vision?
always,
well, what? How do you know what
no,
that's...
there's always they're always treating homeless guys whose toes are falling off.
Yeah, when the big cutie had his gig at the hospital, one of the regulars came in because they have regulars at the emergency room, and they like to test out the new staff. So the homeless guy comes in, and they know that there's a closet of clothes and things for people who are really in need. So he wants a new pair of shoes, and he wants a new pair of socks, and they can give him some of those things. And then he says to my kid, "I want you to wash my feet."
Oh, God. I thought you were going to say cut his toenails.
And my kid says, no.
Good for him.
But, they'll try. But now we're back on the red line and the homeless guy on the train. This guy takes his shoes off across from us, and then he starts yelling about how I'm the most interesting homeless person. Now you're going to hear from the homeless person. I'm going to tell you about life as a homeless person. And then he starts trying to kind of bait the spousal unit into some kind of altercation. And the spousal unit wants nothing to do with it, but the homeless guy is not giving up so easily. We come to a stop, the door opens, and he pulls the emergency brake on the whole train.
Yeah, oh no.
And I wish to high heaven that the spousal unit had just kept his mouth shut, but no.
Oh, God.
The spousal unit says, well, now that you got it open, you might as well leave through it. The guy goes, what are you going to do about it? Going to make me? This was just what he'd been waiting for. And then some nice young woman, I swear to you, she looked like Marianne from Gilligan's Island. And to cap off the picture, she's wearing, I kid you not, gingham. I don't know if it's coming back in style. The last time I saw gingham was on a rerun of The Wizard of Oz. I haven't seen any.
I was just going to say that. That's the last time I saw gingham was on Dorothy.
She's wearing like
Marianne.
a little gingham skirt and a little gingham top with little puff sleeves. And she goes to get on the train not knowing what is about to happen. And the guy, she's trying to walk around the guy, and the guy throws an elbow, nearly hits her in the face. And the spousal unit is just about out of his seat. And the conductor shows up, and he bails out of the car because he knows he will get arrested. My city is turned into Clockwork Orange. That's what it is around here. I feel like I have to rewatch Clockwork Orange to see how many ways my city now resembles it. I haven't seen it since high school. I think I'm due for a rewatch. Actually, any of those apocalyptic end of urban life as we know it movies would be a pretty good insight into what it's like to ride the red line right now. I'd almost rather be locked in a trailer with 148 cats. If you've made it this far, chances are you've been enjoying Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast, in which case you might also like my book, She Said What, A Life on the Air. You can find that at your neighborhood independent bookstore or on Amazon. Marci and I really appreciate your good reviews wherever you care to leave them. Your kind words help the podcast grow. Thanks.